Witcher 3 quests are super predictable in one way. They nearly always have a clever twist that you know is coming but still ends up surprising you. It's like the game's mission statement is to continuously one-up itself in terms of its cleverness, and it's why this game consistently engages me. The Witcher contract Woodland Beast does not have the most clever of twists, but what it does do is it plays on the player's expectations multiple times. To see how, let's do a quest analysis for the Woodland Beast. In this quest, Geralt takes a contract in Velen from some Redanian soldiers, demanding him to take care of a monster attacking some of their caravans. It quickly becomes evident that the monsters in question are not monsters at all, but are some quick-to-anger scoia'tael rebels, and that these guys are not messing around. Geralt has to decide whether he'll let them continue their guerrilla tactics, whether he'll take them out, or if he'll pick a middle ground. Gameplay-wise, there is nothing really special here. It's the usual Geralt tracks something, finds information, has a couple of fights, and then has to make a decision. Most of the side quests in this game follow this general outline, though I will say I appreciate the introduction of Alguls here. They are like one of the few enemies in The Witcher 3 that feel unique to fight. I mean, you gotta axe those spikes away. But outside of that, this is bog standard Witcher 3 gameplay. But what intrigues me here is that the game is very transparent about playing on the player's expectations. The quest is called Woodland Beast, and the quest giver explicitly says, "Can you please kill this monster?" Although he doesn't say it that politely.
We're up shit fucking creek. Some shaggy fuck knows what sitting in the woods attacking every plough and transport that dares take the high road.
But right away, our expectations are set. We're gonna kill a monster in this quest. And I think this early in the game, the player hasn't been primed yet to expect something else, especially back in 2015. But once Geralt begins his investigation, you realize this monster contract is not about a monster at all, but about a much larger and more interesting conflict. There's a tale to be told here about scoia'tael rebels attacking Redanian supply transports. And it's one that the quest giver was completely unaware of. Consequently, this quest makes you realize that Geralt is oftentimes operating with incomplete information. And that's so good. It makes the world feel more alive, where characters lie or are biased or misinterpret things. And it's much more interesting now because Geralt is caught between two opposing factions. He doesn't know what's true, and both are despicable. We already saw a little of Captain Felix Grubb's bright and sunny disposition, but did you also know that he and his men are forcibly preventing these sick and poor civilians from crossing this river while proudly displaying all these hanged bodies? And yet, somehow the scoia'tael are worse. These guys are just dying to kill anyone who walks by here. When Geralt encounters them, 2 of the 3 options leads to them attacking him, though it's kind of justified in this option.
Set your weapon aside. You've killed enough humans already.
No, I have not. At least one more must die.
But the other one, sure, he's being a smartass, but why attack him for this?
Oh, just out for a stroll. Getting some fresh air.
I hope you find yourself amusing, but I'm not laughing. Et me!
The third choice does allow Geralt to parley with Vernasiel, the scoia'tael commander, and she is well-spoken, unlike the Redanian captain. She is also superficially friendly, and when pushed, she does seem to have some justifiable complaints.
This isn't a game. Men have died.
Soldiers have died. Radovid's soldiers, serving the man who torments the Endshay from the Great Sea to the Blue Mountains. Soldiers who joined in massacres, tortured our brothers, raped our sisters. I shan't cry for them.
One problem though, I don't think these guys were soldiers. Now maybe this is the game designers accidentally using the wrong assets, but I don't think that's the case, because the scoia'tael archer was just ready to shoot Geralt on a moment's notice.
One step more and you'll gain a new hole in your head, Dwan. What do you seek here? Speak!
So neither side is all that warm and cuddly. Maybe this is the time for that good old-fashioned Witcher neutrality I've heard so much about. And you can have Geralt walk away from this situation, and that's where most games would stop. But this is The Witcher 3. They're always playing on your expectations. There's always going to be a wrinkle, and the wrinkle here is that there are actually 2 neutral choices, and neither one of them is actually all that neutral. When reporting back to the quest giver, Geralt can withhold information about the scoia'tael, and all it earns him is a tongue lashing.
Searched the woods, didn't find a thing. Might have moved on.
That, or you one shite witcher. What are you still doing here? You're not getting any coin. Just a kick in the arse if you're lucky.
This is neutrality at its most basic. Geralt chose not to side with anyone, thereby not aiding anyone and just moving on with his life. But Geralt also has the choice of choosing not to take out the scoia'tael, but then to tell the Redanian commander about them anyway.
There's no beast in the woods, just scoia'tael.
Scoia'tael, you say? thought we'd rid ourselves of those vermin. So, you gut them?
Elves aren't monsters, so no. But I won't cry if anything happens to them.
This very obviously is not a neutral act by Geralt. He's giving one side information that the other side doesn't necessarily want to give. And this is obviously a dick move by Geralt, but it's hard to stay completely neutral in this game. Emotions and bias come into play, and in the case of this quest, I played it where Geralt wouldn't fight the scoia'tael on behalf of the Redanians. I mean, they are anti-human, despicable racists. Like, if Geralt does kill the scoia'tael, his face says it all when he listens to the Redanian soldiers' rants.
And I thought we'd exterminated the last of those vermin. And the non-humans left and wised up. Well, seems we'll need to pacify them again. Make a list of all the long ears around and hang every 10th one. That should do it.
So I can't live in a world where Geralt helps this guy's genocidal whims, but in my opinion, these elves were pompous, self-righteous hypocrites who killed innocents. So I could totally see him tipping off the Redanians as a way of saying, you both suck, have at it. And I appreciate that so much. This is like a 10-minute quest in a 200-hour game, but it's so memorable because the choices are so nuanced and grounded in this world. These aren't just good, bad, or neutral choices. These are all different variants of bad, but they all feel like they come from a different emotional place depending on how you want to play Geralt. And perhaps this quest's biggest strength is how a seemingly routine monster killing quest becomes something that manages to elicit such an emotional reaction from me. And hopefully I manage to elicit some emotions from you. That way I can parlay that into some likes and subscriptions.
I hope you find yourself amusing, but I'm not laughing. At me!
Damn, tough crowd. But regardless, I plan on doing more Witcher 3 quest analyses, and I'm actually planning on diving into some other games, so let me know in the comments whether you'd be interested in videos like this for Baldur's Gate 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, or any other games that you may recommend. I can't promise I'll actually do them, but I'll at least think about it.